Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is my review for Batwoman Season 3 Episode 5 titled A Lesson from Professor Pyg. The description for the episode says, Ryan asks Sophie to accompany her to a dinner at Jada's to find what her estranged mother knows about Wayne Enterprises. As the terrifying evening unfolds, Ryan witnesses another side to Marcus and her mother. Sophie and Alice were watching a horror movie when Ryan scared them because the door was locked, so she did the most, jumping into the balcony instead of knocking. They went after another trophy that Renette thought was Catwoman's whip, but Ryan didn't. Maybe it's just me, but I don't like that it had nanotech. Like the batsuit being indestructible, it comes in handy, but I wish the show was more grounded sometimes. Alice wanted to get this over with already, but she was stuck with Renee because Ryan had dinner plans with Jada. They mentioned Batcat while trying to find who owned the whip, and I absolutely love that Alice referenced the debate over the Harley Quinn show not letting Batman go down on Selena by saying, I didn't think heroes did that. Alice noticed Renee's obsession with Ivy, and I'm so glad Renee finally got a backstory and such a good one. I was just joking when I asked what's her history with Ivy, maybe a relationship, but I was right. As Bridget Regan's other iconic villain role once said, theirs was the greatest love story ever told. They met in college and were total opposites but knew they were meant to be until a classmate kidnapped Pam and used her as a guinea pig, injecting her with a bunch of poisons, turning her into Ivy. Renee still loved her, but she was a cop, and Ivy only cared about saving the planet and killing anyone in her way. So Renee asked Batman to bury her alive where no one would ever find her. Pretty accurate to Ivy's pre-crisis origin other than her dating Montoya. Alice left to see Mary because the visions came back, but she told her she deserved it. At least Alice noticed her rash and asked what happened, unlike Luke and Ryan. Alice found Mary's sample of Ivy's vine and gave it to Renee, who told her that the vines don't die unless they've infected someone else. Oh yeah, and they learned that it was Flamingo's whip, the cannibal that's also a member of the Black Love Society in the comics. But on to my favorite story, Ryan only agreed to the dinner to find dirt on Jada's connection to the Bee Gees, so she took Sophie as backup. Sophie told Jada she's Ryan's girlfriend, and Ryan referenced when she was dying and Sophie told her she'd be okay on Coriana. While Sophie went off to leave a mic in Jada's office and found a family picture with the dad cut out, Marquis showed up all mad at Ryan for meeting with Jada because they're supposed to be secret partners, but Jada already knew, that's why she set up the dinner. I love that dinner scene other than the white girl interrupting, but thankfully in this horror movie the white girl died first. That jump scare and kill scene showing it behind the tinted mirror with splattered blood made it even darker, and those were some great shots of the pig. Ryan thanked Jada for giving her up because she gave her an actual loving mother, but Marquez can't let her have the last word. But that's when the paralytic kicked in and the pig revealed himself as the chef Vasilo Valentine. Jada fired him years ago and he lost everything, now he wanted revenge. He invited Marcus, but luckily for both of us, Ryan showed up too because she stabbed him, giving them time to run to Jada's panic room. Sophie asked Jada for a gun, but she's like, I can excuse freezing my son, but I draw the line at guns. You can excuse freezing your son, but she was actually worried when Marcus started having seizures. They did reverse trope with Zoe's death, then reversed the three little pigs with pigs saying, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll burn your house down, while literally building a bomb. Jada distracted him while Ryan ran downstairs to get adrenaline to help Marcus, but she's too short and the cabinet fell on her and the pig took her. Meanwhile, Sophie told Jada she's Jordan Moore's sister, but Jada was like, who the hell is that? She denied being involved with the freeze serum and being the monster they made her out to be. At the time I was like, come on, you wanna freeze your son, but you can tell she loves her kids and would do anything for them. Like she went after the pig, and I love when she yelled, get away from my daughter, finally. That gave Ryan the chance to take the adrenaline and attack him. Jada must have been like, girl, where'd you learn those moves? Sophie gave Marcus the adrenaline and we got a wild more moment with the pig about to kill them, but Marcus brutally killed him as Jada cried in fear. Finally, the big twist, Jada revealed Marcus was sick, so she was gonna freeze him to buy her time to find a cure, just like Mr. Freeze. Marcus was on the bus the Joker hijacked, the one that crashed with the canes leading to Beth becoming Alice. Joker used his joy buster on him and he was never the same. I love that Joker changed both Batwoman's siblings' lives forever that night. As Manifest would say, it's all connected, even Ryan, cause Candy Lady kidnapped her around the same time. At first Marcus just seemed like a creepy kid burning books, but over time it got worse. He attacked Jada and even killed his own father with a peanut butter burger he was allergic to while they were camping. I still don't see Jada as the type to marry a white dude though, but she admitted that she kept Ryan away to protect her from Marcus. This was the best episode of Batwoman ever. The whole season I've said that as good as each episode is, none of them have passed the amazing premiere. Well, this one finally did it. It's up there with Through the Looking Glass, Rule Number 1, Injustice for All, and I think it's the best of the series. This season is giving us the best Arrowverse content in years. It feels like the days when Arrow was good are back. Seriously, every single story was so good. Montoya's finally a real character with such an interesting story, Mary's getting worse from whatever Ivy did, and Alice's dynamic with both of them is great. Then the family dinner, the pig, the twist, and the horror. Such a good early Thanksgiving or late Halloween episode. Stargirl might have had a horror element this season, but Batwoman was a full-on horror film this episode. The chase scenes with the pig, Zoe's death, the pig's death, and Marcus's blood frown at the end, the camera work, the lighting, the acting was also good. David Ramsey did an amazing job directing. The Gotham pig still had the better dinner scene though. I didn't see this pig scene. This pig did look more like the comics, but the character is even farther from the comics than Gotham's. The thing is, comics pig would have been the perfect villain to use this season that's dealing with mental health. I love the slasher villain they did, but part of me wishes they'd done more and now he's gone. But at least he gave us our new Joker. My one complaint is making Pyg the working class guy wronged by the rich that turns against them. All the villains this season have at least had a point, and yet they end up dead or in Arkham. Killer Croc deserved better. Black Mask had the same motivation as Ryan till Caroline Dries made him a lying white savior cause she knew he was right. Right idea but wrong method, such an overdone trope. For all the hate the show gets for pushing an SJW agenda, it's actually pretty centrist. I can tell Caroline Dries is a huge fan of Biden. It just has an actual diverse cast, which I love cause we get to see POC kicking ass every week with their token white girl. But when will people realize POC and LGBTQ simply existing isn't an agenda? Now I see why Marcus's actor was so excited for this role, but the Pyg must have known about Marcus, right? Maybe he saw Marcus do something and that's why Jada fired him? It seemed like he was targeting Marcus since the paralytic hurt him the most. I'm so glad Jada's not a villain. I was so sure I'd love her because I love that type of character, but she turned out to be a bitch. But it was all to protect Ryan from Marcus, and that makes me love her even more. She brings this energy that's been missing from the Arrowverse since Moira Queen died. Arrow never recovered from that. I love how they revealed the secret with Ryan watching the tapes while we had Jada's voiceover, and the setup was done so well once I go back and rewatch. What confused me was Jada saying she did everything to protect Ryan. Does that include giving her up? Because he's a year older than her, so he wouldn't have been in school yet. Unless Jada lied to him and he's much older than Ryan. It'd be interesting if Jada manages to cure him but nothing changes. The Joy Buster did nothing and Joker just had a huge impact on him like on Harleen Quinzel. That was the real Marcus all along. That's just my theory, but no matter what, I'm just so excited for the storyline. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for similar content. Leave your thoughts on the video or episode in the comments below. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Goodbye.